out of this house right now! Please, please, Mama Benson, I beg you. It's raining outside. Where do you expect me to go with a baby? I said get out! This is not fair. Daniel, please.
Amara, just go.
I should go?
Yes.
You're my husband.
My son has done more than enough for you. You came into this family with nothing, and now you are demanding sympathy. I never demanded anything. I only asked you to believe me.
You expect us to believe you after what you did? I didn't steal anything. Enough!
The baby cried louder. Amara lowered her voice. Daniel, look at me. You know me. You know I would never steal from your family. Daniel stared at her. For one brief moment, Amara saw hesitation in his eyes. Then Mrs. Benson spoke. Daniel, if you allow this woman to manipulate you again, don't blame anyone when the company collapses. Amara turned toward her. Manipulate him? Yes. You accuse me of stealing money I never touched. You produced documents I've never seen. And now you're throwing me out with my baby. Mrs. Benson folded her arms. Then prove your innocence. I've been begging Daniel to investigate. He already did. Amara looked at Daniel. Did you? Daniel didn't answer. That silence hurt more than anything. Amara stepped toward him. Daniel, please. Just tell me you don't believe I did this. Daniel finally looked into her eyes. I don't know what to believe anymore. Amara's lips trembled. You don't know. She laughed through her tears. After everything we've been through, you don't know who I am. Daniel looked down. I'm sorry. No. Amara shook her head. Don't say you're sorry. Say you believe me. Daniel remained silent. Mrs. Benson walked toward the door and opened it. Cold rain blew into the house. Leave. Amara looked down at her daughter. Her tiny fingers were wrapped around the edge of Amara's dress. Where am I going to sleep? That isn't my concern. She's your granddaughter. Mrs. Benson's expression didn't change. And you're her mother. Take responsibility. Amara looked at Daniel one last time. Are you really going to let this happen? Daniel swallowed. Amara. Please. I can't fight my mother over this. Amara's face changed. So that's it. Daniel said nothing. She nodded slowly. Okay. She picked up the small bag she'd packed earlier. Inside were a few clothes, diapers, and the little pink blanket she'd bought before her daughter was born. She walked toward the door. Then she stopped. Without turning around, she said, one day, Daniel, you're going to remember this night. Daniel's eyes filled with regret. But he still said nothing. Amara stepped into the rain. The door slammed behind her. And that was the moment the woman everyone thought was powerless began the journey that would eventually change their lives forever. 3 years earlier, Amara had entered the Benson family as a young bride who believed love was enough. She had met Daniel while working at a small accounting firm. He had been kind, patient, and completely different from the wealthy men she'd heard stories about. When he proposed, Amara hesitated. Your family is wealthy, she told him. I'm not. Daniel smiled. I didn't fall in love with your bank account. But your mother may never accept me. She'll come around. Amara wanted to believe him. So she married him. For the first few months, everything seemed perfect. Then Mrs. Benson began making comments. One morning, Amara served breakfast. Mrs. Benson looked at the plate and frowned. Is this what you call breakfast? Amara smiled politely. I can make something else. You don't understand. My son grew up eating properly. Daniel walked into the kitchen. Mom, what's wrong? Nothing. She pushed the plate away. Your wife simply doesn't understand how this family operates. Amara lowered her eyes. Daniel sighed. Mom, please. But the comments continued. You didn't bring money into this marriage. You don't know how to dress properly. You're too ordinary for this family. Amara endured everything because she loved Daniel. Then she became pregnant. When she told Mrs. Benson, she expected excitement. Instead, the older woman asked one question. Are you sure? Amara blinked. Sure about what? That it's a boy. Amara smiled awkwardly. We don't know yet. Mrs. Benson's face fell. I hope it's a boy. Months later, Amara gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Daniel was overjoyed. He held the baby and kissed Amara's forehead. She's perfect. Amara smiled through tears. But Mrs. Benson barely looked at the child. A girl. Her disappointment was obvious. Daniel frowned. Mom. What? Is your granddaughter? Mrs. Benson walked away. From that day, the atmosphere in the mansion changed. Daniel began spending more time at the company. Mrs. Benson became harsher. And Amara began noticing something else. Money was disappearing from the family business. At first, she said nothing. Then one evening, she found Daniel sitting alone in his study, staring at several financial documents. Daniel. He quickly closed the folder. What are you doing here? I came to check on you. I'm fine. She stepped closer. You don't look fine. Daniel forced a smile. It's just work. Amara nodded. But as she walked away, she noticed something on the desk. A transfer document. And the name on it was Daniel's. She stopped. Daniel. He turned. What? Why was money transferred from the company account to a private account? Daniel's face changed. Don't worry about it. But. I said don't worry about it. Amara stared at him. For the first time, she felt that her husband was hiding something. And she had no idea that within weeks, that secret would be used to destroy her marriage. Amara stood in the doorway, staring at Daniel. Why are you hiding this from me? Daniel quickly gathered the documents. I'm not hiding anything. You just told me not to worry about a transfer involving your company. It's business. But the account isn't a company account. Daniel's expression hardened. Amara, please. Stay out of this. She stared at him. I'm your wife. How can I stay out of something that could destroy you? Daniel rubbed his forehead. I said I've got it under control. Amara lowered her voice. Are you in trouble? No. Then why are you acting like this? Daniel didn't answer. Amara stepped closer. Daniel. He finally looked at her. I love you. If something is wrong, tell me. For a moment, the anger disappeared from his face. Then he sighed. The company is going through some financial problems. Amara's eyes widened. How bad? Not that bad. Then why are you transferring money? Daniel hesitated. Because I had to cover something temporarily. Cover what? Amara, enough. He walked past her. She watched him leave. Something was wrong. Very wrong. Over the next few weeks, Daniel became increasingly distant. He stopped eating dinner with Amara. He stayed at the office until late. Whenever she asked questions, he became irritated. And Mrs. Benson seemed strangely pleased. One afternoon, Amara was feeding her baby when Mrs. Benson entered the room. Daniel isn't home. No. He said he had a meeting. Mrs. Benson smiled. Of course he does. Amara looked at her. What does that mean? Nothing. Please, if there's something you want to say, just say it. Mrs. Benson folded her arms. You're very curious these days. I'm only concerned about my husband. You should be concerned about yourself. Amara frowned. What are you talking about? Mrs. Benson stepped closer. You've been asking questions about the company. Because Daniel is under pressure. Or because you're looking for ways to get your hands on the family money. Amara stared at her. Excuse me. You heard me. That is insulting. Is it? Amara shook her head. I have never asked Daniel for your money. Mrs. Benson laughed. You don't have to ask. Women like you know how to take what they want. Amara's eyes filled with tears. Why do you hate me so much? Mrs. Benson's face became cold. Because I know women like you. You don't know me. I know enough. She walked away. Amara hugged her daughter tightly. I will never let anyone make you feel unwanted, she whispered. But that promise was about to be tested. 2 days later, Daniel came home earlier than usual. His face was pale. Amara. She immediately stood. What happened? Where were you yesterday afternoon? At home. Are you sure? Amara looked confused. Yes. Did you go into my study? No. Did you touch any company documents? No. Daniel pulled a folder from his briefcase. Then explained this. He threw the folder onto the table. Amara opened it. Her hands began trembling. There were financial statements. Several large transfers had been made from the company. And beside them was a signature. Her signature. Amara looked up. I didn't sign this. Daniel's jaw tightened. That's your signature. No, it isn't. I know what your signature looks like. Daniel, look carefully. He snatched the document from her. You signed this. I didn't. You expect me to believe that? Yes. Amara's voice cracked. Because it's the truth. Daniel paced across the room. Millions of naira are missing. Amara froze. Millions? Yes. I don't know anything about that. Then why is your signature on the documents? I don't know. Daniel slammed the folder down. You've been asking questions about the company's finances for weeks. Because I was worried about you. Or because you knew what was happening. Amara stared at him in disbelief. You think I stole from you? I don't know what to think. You're my husband. And you're suddenly signing financial documents you claim you've never seen. Amara began crying. Someone is setting me up. Daniel looked away. Who? I don't know. Convenient. She stepped toward him. Daniel, please. You have to believe me. He shook his head. I need some time. For what? To figure out who I can trust. Amara stared at him. You're looking at her. Daniel walked out. That night, Amara couldn't sleep. She kept looking at the documents. Something bothered her. The signature looked like hers. But she knew she hadn't signed anything. The next morning, she secretly took a photograph of one of the documents. Then she noticed something. The date on the transfer was a day when she had taken her daughter to the hospital. She remembered it clearly. She had spent almost the entire afternoon there. Someone else had used her identity. But who? That afternoon, Amara went downstairs and found Mrs. Benson speaking quietly with Daniel. They stopped when she approached. What were you talking about? Mrs. Benson smiled. Nothing concerning you. Amara looked at Daniel. I need to talk to you. Later. No. Now. Mrs. Benson interrupted. Daniel has more important things to deal with. Amara turned toward her. My marriage is not your business. Mrs. Benson's expression changed. This house is mine. And Daniel is my husband. Not for much longer if you continue behaving like this. Amara's heart sank. What does that mean? Mrs. Benson walked closer. It means my son is finally beginning to see who you really are. Amara looked at Daniel. Is that true? Daniel remained silent. Mrs. Benson smiled. Then her phone rang. She answered it. Yes. Her expression suddenly changed. What? She listened for several seconds. Then she looked at Daniel. They found more. Daniel's face went pale. More what? More transfers. Amara stepped forward. Where? Mrs. Benson slowly turned toward her. From another company account. Daniel stared at Amara. How did you do it? Amara's mouth fell open. I didn't. Mrs. Benson shook her head. This woman has been stealing from us. No. Amara cried. Daniel stepped backward. I need to call the police. Amara's entire body went cold. Daniel, please don't. You need to explain yourself. I can explain everything. Then explain the signature. I can't explain something I didn't do. Mrs. Benson grabbed the folder. There is one more thing. She pulled out another document. This one shows that Amara attempted to transfer ownership of one of the family properties. Amara stared at the paper. I've never seen that. Mrs. Benson smiled. Of course you haven't. Daniel looked at his wife with disappointment. I trusted you. Amara began sobbing. You still have time to investigate this. Daniel turned away. Mrs. Benson whispered something into his ear. Amara couldn't hear the words. But she saw Daniel's expression change. Then he looked at her. Pack your things. Amara's heart stopped. What? Pack your things. Daniel. Tonight. She shook her head. No. Daniel's voice became cold. You're leaving this house. Amara held her baby tighter. You're throwing me out? Yes. Where will I go? I don't know. It's raining outside. I can't help you. Amara looked toward Mrs. Benson. You wanted this. Mrs. Benson didn't deny it. Amara turned back to Daniel. After everything I've done for you? Daniel looked down. I have no choice. Amara whispered. You always have a choice. For a moment, Daniel looked like he wanted to say something. But Mrs. Benson stepped forward. Security is waiting. Amara's eyes widened. You called security? Yes. Your own son's wife. Mrs. Benson pointed toward the door. Leave. Amara walked upstairs slowly. She packed her baby's clothes. A few diapers. 2 dresses. And the small amount of cash she had hidden inside her purse. Then she returned downstairs. Daniel was waiting. Amara stood in front of him. Look at me. He did. I didn't steal your money. Daniel said nothing. I didn't forge those documents. Silence. And one day, you'll find out who did this. Daniel swallowed. Just go. Amara nodded. She walked toward the door. But before she stepped outside, she turned around. Daniel. He looked at her. When the truth comes out, I hope you remember that tonight, you chose to believe a lie. The door opened. Rain poured down outside. Amara stepped into the darkness with her baby in her arms. But she didn't know that someone was watching her from an upstairs window. Someone who knew exactly what had happened. Someone who had created every piece of evidence against her. And that person was smiling. The real nightmare had only just begun. If you're already enjoying this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe.